pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please take your seats. Roll call, please. Meister. Savage. Here. Brocious. Here. Brumbaugh. Here. There was an executive session held on October 20th and October 23rd and October 22nd to cover personnel and possible litigation. At this time, I'd like to call for the speakers for the fluoride. So if you guys want to come forward or stay back there, wherever you guys would like to speak.
That way. Okay, we're blocking our way. Go this way.
Evening. So we are from the Sunbury Valley Health Clinic. So thank you all for allowing us to come and speak on behalf of what we feel is important to the community. I'm joined by Dr. Sean Lazar, Karen Vines, and Steve White. So we just wanted to let you guys know that we feel that fluoride is a very important part of the community, and we were a little disappointed with how the vote turned out this week. Water in Sunbury. We do understand safety concerns the employees had with the powdered version of fluoride. We do feel that the more modern usage of the liquid fluoride addresses a lot of the safety concerns that the employee would have. There's a lot of training out there, and with proper PPE, it shouldn't be as big of a problem as the powdered version. Just wanted to go over a few facts of fluoride again for everyone who was here who wasn't at the meeting last week. Fluoride is a naturally occurring substance. It's found in our groundwater already. Simply the additional fluoride brings up to a level of 0.7 milligrams per liter or 0.7 parts per million, which greatly reduces tooth decay. And you don't have to just drink it. Even when you're cooking with the fluoridated water, you still get the benefits by ingesting. Community water fluoridation is supported by the CDC, the ADA, and the World Health Organization. And fluoride, the statistics show, has reduced tooth decay by at least 25% in adults and children, which is very good, especially in communities that don't have access to health care for their teeth. Statistics from the Pennsylvania Coalition for Oral Health show that Sunbury has a large population compared to other areas of people living in poverty, so they don't have the access to see a dentist as often as most people do. So fluoride goes a long way to making sure that their teeth stay healthy. There was a study done with other communities removing fluoride in 2025. They showed that 4 out of 5 communities were considering removal of fluoride, but in the end, 4 out of 5 communities were considering it, and 4 out of the 5 kept it, and 1 of them removed it. So one of the things that we talked about was costs with the equipment upgrade. Pennsylvania Coalition for Oral Health informed us that there's grant money available, so if the cost to, which I was told was $98,000 if I recall from the meeting last week, if the cost is too great, they can provide money to offset some of those costs. They just, you have to reach out to them. But they said the PDA and the ADA is also willing to donate money in grants to upgrade the equipment. We also have statistics from our own clinic showing that comparing to Shamokin, where there is no water fluoridation, we have a small sample size of patients from the ages 0 to 20 years old, and the numbers that we have show that there's 50% less decay in fluoridated communities such as Sunbury versus Shamokin. So that shows that fluoridation does work, and it works for people of all ages, not just children. If cavities were to increase over 25%, that would make our jobs much, much harder. Even just one more filling per person would result in about $500,000 worth of additional treatment. So, like, we're thinking 98,000 versus 500,000. That's very significant. And the problem is that there's not as many dentists in the area that take Medicaid. So these patients may not be able to be treated. They're ending up in the ER. Just today, I had at least 3 patients who came to me that they went to the ER for treatment with an abscess. So, the ER is there to treat everybody, but sometimes they're treating dental patients when, they could have patients that have shock wounds or something more serious. So they're taking away time from the hospitals to treat patients that may need, more treatment. That is really all I had to say. That I think that keeping the fluoride in the water is going to go a long way to helping everybody in the community, children and adults, and especially the most vulnerable, the ones that can't afford to see the dentist.
Good evening. My name is John Lazar. I started my dental practice in Sunbury on Front Street in 1975. I've worked locally for over 40 years in dentistry. First statement is that there has been fluoride in water supply since 1945 in Grand Rapids, so we have a history of what fluoride does. Let me have a quotation from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. They say that one of the top 10 greatest public health achievements of the 20th century is fluoridated water in communities. There was a study done in the Journal of American Medical Association, May 20th, 2025, that's titled Projected Outcomes of Removing Fluoride Water from Public Water Systems. Number 1, there will be a significant increase in decay. Number 2, the people that will be affected will be the lower income individuals, the disadvantaged, and the unemployed. There will be an increase in dental services. I can support the statement over here about different school systems. At one time, I was the school dentist for the Salingsville school system. So I examined children in Salingsgrove, Jackson Penn, Monroe, and basically Chatham Union. So if you take a look at the individuals in Salingsgrove, yes, they did have decay, but it was very manageable, and it can be accomplished with a minimum amount of money and time. The children down in Chatham Union had gross decay. If you were to look at decayed and missing teeth, it was unbelievable the amount of decay that they had. Fluoridated community, manageable decay. Unfluoridated community, expensive, time-consuming, pulpotomy, stainless steel crowns, very expensive, very time-consuming. If you take into effect what you have to use is local anesthetic, or nitrous, or a cocktail, or go to the hospital to have this procedure done, the cost of treating this individual is astronomical. So fluoride in the water supply really helps. There is, in Calgary, Canada, in 2011, fluoride was removed from the water. The incidence of decay went up, they put fluoride back in the water again. As far as Israel took fluoride out of the water, they put fluoride back in the water after the amount of dental decay increased. Dr. Bruno, when he was in the pediatric clinic in Geisinger, they tried putting a fluoride varnish on pediatric teeth. the outcome was not significant. As far as what was said in Selinsgrove about fluoride tablets, I lived through the fluoride tablets. Fluoride tablets either ended up in the garbage can, in the lunch pail, or still in school. So as far as tablets are concerned, that's just not a no-go. As far as suggestion of using fluoridated toothpaste, you realize that a young child, 1, 2, 3 years old, does not have the ability to spit. So what they do is they swallow the fluoride. Once you swallow adult fluoride, you're headed for fluorosis, and that will happen. So the suggestion of giving everybody indiscriminate toothpaste, it's for everybody's knowledge, it is a pea-sized application of toothpaste that has fluoride on, not a ribbon. So as far as the fluoridated, or the fluoride room, I look at that and I think about my days in college where anything that was in organic chemistry you had to do underneath the hood, you had to wear protective equipment. So my question would be, how in the world did they ever pass an ocean exam with the way the conditions are? Where is their PPE? And also, where's their procedure manual? I mean, how do you get a bag of 50 pounds and put 13 or 14 pounds in a hopper? How do you do that? Why doesn't the room have a hood that's vented to the outside with a filter on it? Dental decay is something that is not new to the area. The underserved and the poor people in the community have the majority of the problems. In 1999, every single dentist that belonged to the Tri-County Dental Society received a letter from Dr. Danilov. And basically what it said, our emergency room is filled with your problems. Correct it. And that's how the dental clinic got started in Sunbury. Any questions, I'd be more than happy to entertain them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. At this time, is there any public comment on agenda items at this time? Any public comment on agenda items at this time? All right, moving on. Old business, there is no old business, but there is new business. So Act 49, so that was, we talked about that last time in the discussion about allowing police officers to buy back previous police time. So after Joel looked over the law, we have to get an actuary study done to see if it would cost our pitch anything. So there has to be a vote for us to do this, so I'm looking for a vote to get that study done. Do I have a second?
Savage.
Yes. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Brochus. Yes. All right, moving on, purchase of a new police vehicle. We spoke about this in the budget meeting, about taking some of the budget money from this year from our salaries. Jerome, correct me if I'm wrong, we have to pass a resolution to do that, correct? All right, so we can do that. But in the meantime, I'd like to get that ball rolling so the chief can go up to Sunbury Motors and see if they have one in stock or try to get one ordered so we can do that. Any questions? So I'd like to do that for the amount of $45,000 and the cost of the outfit. Do I have a second?
Second. Ister. Yes. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Savage. Yes. Brochus.
Yes. Moving on, Councilman Brumbaugh.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to hire a full-time code enforcement officer.
With an hourly rate of what, sir?
Hourly rate of $18 to $25 per hour, depending on their experience.
I second.
Question. You're just gonna advertise from now, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Ister. Yes. Savage. Yes. Brochus.
Yes.
Brumbaugh.
Yes.
All right, keep going, Councilman Brumbaugh.
Make a motion to accept the resignation of Cheryl Delsite.
Second.
Savage. Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Procius. Yes. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman Brumbaugh.
Make a motion to accept the resignation of Joyce Knighty, code
Second.
officer.
Second. Ister.
Yes.
Savage. Yes. Procius. Yes. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Moving on, Councilman Ister.
Make a motion to pay gap 3 and 4 out of liquid fuels for paving.
Second. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Savage. Yes. Procius. Yes. Ister.
Yes.
Moving on, Councilman Savage.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Rebecca Chambers from the treasurer's office.
Second. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius. Yes. Keep going, Councilman Savage.
I'll also make an approval for a motion for the approval of abstracts and vouchers for general fund in the amount of $85,118.02, liquid fuels in the amount of $186,305.29, and payroll in the amount of $68,695.31.
Second. Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius. Yes. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
All right, moving on to discussion items, Celotex lot. Just want to bring up this to council just so they were aware. I'm getting phone calls about people they believe that are in the lot when it's obviously not open, doing, I don't know what they're doing. So I didn't know if it's something you want to look into, possibly getting cameras up there since, we are, I don't want to say liable, but, we are maintaining it from the county. Our shredder is up there, we do have stuff up there. So I didn't know if that was something, we obviously not going to make a decision on that tonight, but possibly getting cameras up there if people are in there. We don't want to obviously damage our stuff and or doing other things in there.
Question, for kids on bicycles or what?
I don't know, they just said they see people in there at night. I don't know if it's kids on bicycles or people just walking around, jumping the fence.
Because it is gated and
Yeah, but I don't,
I don't know if you guys acted
yeah. Back in the day, I'm not that old, yeah. But I didn't know, I just want to bring it up to the council, maybe that's something we can
I'll
just,
check with Steve.
yeah, see if there's any electrical, something's better than nothing.
Yes.
All right, any other questions for that for council? All right, moving on, there was a resignation from the municipal board. I just want to let everyone know that, so we're going to advertise that, so if anyone wants to put their name in for that, or if the SMA board has someone that was willing to fill that position, obviously submit a letter of interest so we can get them appointed.
I think we should send them a letter and ask if they have any recommendations.
Yep, we can do that. Sound good? All right, and then moving on to ordinance 859, the amusement, Councilman Brumbaugh.
I'd like to make a motion.
We're not making a motion, we're just discussing,
Oh,
what we're gonna do.
discussing this,
Yes.
okay. To take the fee from $100 to $300 per machine, skill machine, per year, with a period of, I believe, 60 days?
From January 1st until, either you want to go March 1st or March 31st, like the 3 month have to do with their housing permit. 31st, so from January 1st to March 31st. Yeah, we can do it that way.
And all the machine owners, it's not for the storekeepers or fire companies to pay, the machine owners pay the fee. If they don't have it paid in that length of time that just mentioned, they should get a double, instead of paying $300, they'll pay $600. Because right now their fee is $5. But this is not the storekeepers, they don't pay it. The machine owners pay it.
All right, any questions or comments for that? All right, and then we said, we'll get Joel to write up an ordinance, that way we can have the first reading of that at the next meeting. All right, moving on to announcements. Stop the Bleed training is October 30th here at the council chambers. All are welcome to attend, they must register. Sam Spiegelmeyer is the trainer. Trick or treat will take place next Friday in Sunbury on October 31st, citywide. It is from 6 to 9 p.m. Normally in the past it was 6 to 8, but this Friday. Oh man, time flies. So normally I said it's from 6 to 8 o'clock, but with being Friday, we're gonna make it from 6 to 9 p.m., so no big deal there. The next council meeting will be November 10th at 6:15 p.m. here in the council chambers. And at this time, any other announcements, anyone? All right, and then
John,
oh.
can we do a budget meeting, or a work session right before that, just in case? Is it for one advertised for that?
there is one advertised, but I mean, we currently do have a balanced budget.
No.
Yeah, so we'll just say, we'll still have one, just in case. So we'll still have a budget meeting, November 10th at 5 o'clock, just to be safe. All right, just in case something changes. All right, any other announcements?
So we can discuss that.
We can discuss the amusement for the
Yeah.
skill machines. All right,
Okay.
now, is there any public comment at this time? Public comment at this time. All right, I'm working my way back. Please state your name. Yes, you, Jody, sorry. Still state your name.
Jody Ocker, Executive Director for Sunbury Revitalization. I just wanted to be able to introduce to you 2 new members of our team. This is Sarah Bauer. We just hired her to be a new full-time downtown manager. This is a very important step in on our trip to becoming Main Street designated. This is a very vital part of the whole 5-year downtown revitalization strategic plan. And next to her is Meng Zhan. She is an AmeriCorps member, and she's working with SRI for a year as our community events and engagement coordinator. So she's organizing right now Lake Night Shoppers, and she'll be helping to organize other events and other activities and events to engage with the community. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me or see them after the meeting. Also want to point out that the Blueprint Community's Downtown Sunbury team, who have written this 5-year strategic plan for downtown revitalization over the last year and a half of very intensive training and hard work. We are graduating from our Blueprint Communities training program on November 12th. And if any of the council members or officials would like to attend, let me know. I can extend to you an invitation to attend November 12th in Harrisburg. So it's been a long road. We're very excited and very pleased with the work that we've done, and we can't wait to share it with you. We have already started implementing the plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other public comment at this time? All right, hold on. Go ahead, Jim, then we'll...
Okay. Tomorrow evening, at the dining room,
Any other public comment at this time? I'm gonna start in the front, working my way back. Please state your name, sir.
Timothy Reed. My son and I would like to thank the city of Sunbury and the Sunbury Police Department for giving us a chance to do a memorial cruise for John Barnard. Which was a success. We had approximately 75 cars, we had 3 vendors, 1 food truck, and we raised $268, which were donated to the Shailene Shambach family. We'd like to thank my son for his donation of pumpkins along with his friend Camden Shaw. As we heard from nobody, I don't think there was any incident called to the Sunbury Police Department. I'd like to thank everybody for their help.
I want to thank you, you guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Public comment, please state your name, ma'am.
Tina Hayes. I'm a new resident in Sunbury. However, I do have a connection to Sunbury. I'm an AmeriCorps alum. So I worked with the Middle Susquehanna Riverkeeper. And the reason I attended was because of the fluoride being removed. And it was shocking to me, and I just wanted to express my disappointment upon hearing that and how detrimental it can be to the health, not only teeth, because if your teeth go bad, your health goes bad. So people often don't make the connection between your teeth, healthy teeth, and a healthy heart. So I just wanted to express my disappointment in hearing that they're planning on removing the fluoride, and I would hope that it would be reconsidered. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Please state your name, ma'am.
Amy Wheeler, I'm talking tonight on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority and the Historic Architecture Review Board. with the turnover that's been happening and is happening again in the code office, I'm very concerned with understanding, we were here several months ago for the redevelopment authority to explain the process so that we could get a good handle on the process through code, making citations and warnings of properties. The blight program, the review committee is under the city in the ordinance, if I'm to understand that correctly. And that is the feeder program, if you will, of the redevelopment authority. So while we're continuing to see all of this turnover in the code office, but the redevelopment authority's been kind of under the gun as to why things haven't been happening. And I'm concerned with the fact that when we don't have the feeder program coming up through properly, there's still not a good understanding of that process. And so I know we've talked a bit amongst ourselves of training and making sure that happens. So I sure hope that we get looped in to whomever is hired, whatever council person, if it's Mr. Brumbaugh for now, but if that changes in the future, that has gotta be a better line of communication. Because when it comes to blighted properties, we have one that we're about to take out of the blighted program that was taken, sold at 1041 Line Street. We're going through the final steps of that. The purchaser has completed the project. I don't want to give away too much, but we'll be here again in a couple of weeks. So we still have success stories that are happening, but if we don't get cooperation, then we've got nowhere to go with it. So I'm really hoping that there's something strongly considered when the new code people are hired, people, however many go there. We've got to get tied together here with the blight program and the redevelopment authority and the code office to know how this works and to make it work properly so that we can have success stories instead of stagnation. And to that point, we were talking a little bit about ordinances. I looked up the ordinances that were about the blight program to make sure that I was correct and accurate in my thinking. How long has it been since ordinances were updated? Because I know there's things that have been discussed and aren't updated online. What is that process? And where are any of the most recent updates there?
Are you referring to codification or just code updates in general?
If they're codified, aren't they to be advertised and then put
No,
online?
I'm just asking which portion are you?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So can you talk about it a little bit?
The codification hasn't been done in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, but mainly because it's very expensive to do, and it's a whole lot less expensive if you do it all at one time, okay? We did it a couple of years ago, and haven't done it since. The statute is very clear. There's no designation on how often it needs to be done. There's no designation even that it has to be done. It says that cities of the third class may codify, but they don't have to. It's a good idea to do it. But quite honestly, it's not a good idea to do it every time we pass an ordinance. It would be very, very, very costly to do it. So we are talking about it right now, doing another codification round. We just haven't done it yet. If that answers the question.
Yeah, yes, in part. So does the codification then mean that, does it have to be codified before ordinances are updated online?
Well, it depends where you're looking online, and I'm not being cocky when I say that, but I think that we normally try to get them updated when it's through our website, but E-code only does it when they're codified, if that makes sense. E-code is the general, where you can find anybody's codes.
But when I go to the website, it directs me to E-codes.
Well, that's another issue entirely, but the ones that are on our website is what I'm talking about. And maybe we don't have it, I haven't looked at our website in a long time.
I would
I'm not
suggest
lying.
that when you go on the website and you try to look at the ordinances, it does take you directly to the link for
Well,
E-codes, so then
I
you're not
apologize.
able
I
to
haven't
see
been
the
on there to see
updated.
it. Yep. Well, the
Okay.
E-code one is only when they're codified, yes, as far as I know. And I'm not an expert on it, but I mean, that's what I know.
So where would I go to find the updated?
The city administration.
Okay.
We have to have copies of everything and they're available to the general public.
But if they're not codified and they're not on E-codes, then there's no, that's not a harm or detriment, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it's not a harm or detriment if it doesn't go too long, but at the same time, I'm not here to make a decision on detriment. I don't want to go out on that limb, because that's not really what I'm supposed to do.
Sure.
But to make a long story short, it's just not something we can do piecemeal,
Gotcha.
okay, because of the cost.
Okay.
And it would involve a lot less action in other areas if we paid to do that. I mean, it's very expensive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Victoria Rosencrantz. I just want to make a comment about the amusement fees. Mr. Grubel, you're saying that the business owners don't have to pay that fee. I've met with business owners before when this all came about, and there are business owners that those skill machine people require them to pay the fee. Now, that's between the business and, whatever. So there are businesses out there, and they're not happy about this, but it is what it is. But I'm just explaining there are, and they've reached out to me today based on that. And so, so the other thing that happened before when this amusement thing came up was the fact that, and I filed a right to know, and there were folks that were not paying for years, okay? Some of that was rectified. So the other thing that was discussed, which was then Councilman Barnhart at the time, was making sure the inventory of each machine, so in the city, that they're inventory, okay? Because I can guarantee it was inventory, but I've seen machines going in.
Come and go, yes.
So what I'm asking is that, this ordinance, I mean, like right now, again, I went out today and I'm reading the ordinance that's out there. This gentleman's supposed to be collecting the fees, okay?
So that's one of the things we're, I don't mean to interrupt you, that's one of the things we're gonna change in the new resolution, who's collecting it,
Right.
how do we know if it's paid or not? We wanna put in the ordinance that, all right, there's this is gonna sound cheesy, but a paid 2026, so we know that it's been paid and not paid. If how many new machines came in, like right now in our ordinance, it states that it is the machine owner's responsibility.
But-
Not saying that always happens, but
Right.
that's how it states in our ordinance.
And-
So we're trying to do better to make sure the accountability is there, and because right now in the ordinance it said the fee for not paying is $5. Like, no one's gonna care about that. So we're gonna try to make it more accountable for these vendors to pay what they need to do. So like, for example, like I said, right now the amusement fee goes on soda machines. Like every year, at the beginning of the year, Coke and Pepsi, they automatically send us a check. We don't have to go looking for them. So, like I said, they're accountable businesses that, do their fair share, but to make sure the people who are not are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think with this new ordinance that Joel's gonna create, that we're gonna bring forward, is gonna make sure people are held accountable, that we know who's paying, who's not paying, and putting like the paid sticker, as I said, for 2026, we know, hey, did they pay, did they not pay, and in that way, we can hold them accountable.
Right, and I was looking at other municipalities' ordinances today, and like another municipality, like when a business gets that in, like a new machine in, say they never had machines. So they're required to come into the municipality and say, hey, I'm putting these machines in, they need to pay for that, they said on their ordinance says license. But that was the other thing that was discussed, was putting that on the side, making sure that inventory, making sure those business owners are coming forward and doing all that. So I'm just encouraging that, because that was discussed before, and I think that will streamline it again, going to the dates of between this, and if they don't pay, whatever. So thank you, because business owners were reaching out to me today, so they can take that up. And again, that's between the business owner and the machine person, they have to figure that out.
Yeah, and maybe if they, like I said, saw the ordinance that clearly states that may have more teeth on their end, saying, hey, in the city, this is what the ordinance states.
Right, and I was educating them on that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank all of the businesses in Sunbury and individuals, residents. The Light Fest was doing the fundraising for the 162 light poles, and I never knew that the 162 light pole fundraiser would be so popular. So I just want to thank everybody that they're all sponsored, and the city's going to look great this Christmas. It's going to brighten up the downtown, so I just want to thank everybody for that. So that's all I have.
And thank you for you and Light Fest taking on that responsibility and getting it done. So thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name, sir.
Andre Manessa. I want to know where did it come from 100 to 200 to 300?
Well, I know last year, we did have the conversation about upping the amusement fee. We just never got around to it. We had the first reading, it just never got followed from the 100 to whatever it was.
Yeah, but I understand people are not paying,
Yeah.
but go after them. Don't go after the people that are paying, because then you're making it worse for other people that are paying.
Well, I mean, we're doing,
Because it's not gonna guarantee you that the people are not paying are gonna pay because you're charging them $300.
Andre, you missed the fact that we're going out, the owners of the machines,
I understand it, but what happens if they don't pay?
they don't come to the city.
because in the ordinance it states if you don't pay, then this happens, and this happens. We're gonna follow through on if this happens, and this happens, because we're gonna make it in there, all right, you have from January 1st to March 31st to pay. And then if you don't, then the fee doubles from 300 to 600 if you don't pay. Kind of like with your rental permit, you have between January and March 31st to pay, and if you don't pay, that doubles. It's the same thing. We're gonna follow that same process. Like if they don't pay, like I said, if the people pay, they have nothing to worry about. If they don't pay, well, those are the individuals who are gonna have something to worry about.
Okay, I understand it, but then keep the fee at 100 and then fine them for 300. Don't raise it to 300 and then another 300, because there's businesses that have been paying.
Like I
It's
said,
not fair to them that now that it's gonna be raised to 300.
Andre, it's just like a landlord, we charge the landlord, not the tenant. Just pretend you're the tenant of the machine, the owner is the landlord, we're going after the landlord, the owner.
Yeah, but there's business, like Victoria said, go half and half with the businesses.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful when I say this, but they negotiated that contract. Like I said, in our ordinance, it states that it is the machine owner, the landlord, who is supposed to be paying that fee, not the tenant, not the business owner. So maybe when whoever's doing that says, hey, according to the ordinance, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, the deal that we made is technically, I don't want to say illegal is the word, but illegal because this is what the ordinance says. This is what we need to follow. So if someone said that, they could show the ordinance, say, hey, this is what we're supposed to be doing, not what we agreed upon. So I don't know if that helps at all, but.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen is, some of these companies aren't gonna wanna pay 300 for each machine. They're just gonna pull out the machine.
Well, you go to somebody else then, go to the person who doesn't charge you any of the 300.
But I'm not saying it doesn't matter if they charge or not. It doesn't matter, but if a company's gonna have to pay all the machines, they're just gonna pull out.
Well, let's see what happens, because
And then what happens to the business that depend on them? Because that helps some business alleviate the bills, the rent, other stuff that they have to pay for.
It's an extra $200 a year per machine.
Exactly.
If they don't make that much money, they should be making that money in a couple of days.
Jim, machines don't make that much. I went 2.5 months without making any profit because people win. If they win, you don't get nothing. You don't have no profit to it. If you have 10 machines and 5 of them are negative, you're not making a profit.
And I put the machines out.
It's the cost of doing
Oh, you don't make any money. You just don't say, make any
You
money.
can tell the casino, so you can tell the casino to take the machines out.
Over and over.
well, guys, let's do this. Let's see what happens. Like, right now, we're playing the what if game. Let's revisit this a year from now, and we see if businesses come and say, hey, I'm making this number up here. I had 10 machines, and so-and-so pulled out all 10 machines because of this reason, and they can show us data, not say, oh, this is what happened. Show us like, hey, we lost money on these machines, we lost money, that's why we pulled them out. Well, then we can come and revisit this again. But if, the thing is, other communities are doing what we have talked about, and they're not having any issues. We have to see if it will work here in Sunbury. If it doesn't work in Sunbury, we can revisit it and change it. But if it's something that is working in other communities, let's try it and see what happens. You know, we can try new things here at times and see what happens.
On these skill machines, you can't go from week to week. Oh, I didn't make any money last week, I didn't make. What about over a year's time? Say you have 10 machines. I have 6. I know over a year, you might have a big winner, 3,000, 4,000 on one machine. So it's catch-up time when they come and do the weekly collection. But over a year's time, you can't go from week to week it's over a year's time, but those, did you make any money at all in your machines in a year?
Well, I haven't had it for a year
6 months, did you have them?
yet.
Did you make any money?
Not if I thought of, I mean, it's hit or miss. It's like a casino, you hit or miss.
Right, exactly right,
You
but
get people
over a
that
year's
work, you get
time,
people-
over a year's time,
Yeah,
you know you're.
I don't understand how it goes from 100 to 200, and then all of a sudden, this week it comes to 3. And the next meeting, it's gonna come to 4.
Let's revisit it and see what happens if, if the companies wanna come and say, hey, we lost all this money, we did all this, then we can revisit the fee. But as of right now, we'll see what happens and we can go from there. Anything else on this?
What about the businesses that have machines that don't have no name on it?
Well, that's going in the ordinance, like, it is gonna be required that they can't pull the sticker off, so we don't know whose it is. Obviously, that machine is owned by someone, we wanna know who it is, and that's gonna go back into the resolution, well, the ordinance saying every machine must be identified who owns it, so we know who is responsible to making those payments. And if not, we'll go through the same process of, all right, if you don't do this, then this is gonna happen, then this is gonna happen, then obviously the machines will be removed, because if no one owns them, they must be stolen property or something. So,
Now, is this only going on the skilled machines?
just the skill machines, just the skill machines. Public comment?
Victoria, one more thing on that ordinance too, because it was listing, we discussed it before, but I also wanted clarification, just because the pool tables are staying the same at 100.
Correct, it's only, this is gonna be
Just
an,
the skill machines.
machine.
yeah, just the skill machines,
And,
yes.
are you looking at the bubble gum machine wording in there and all that
No,
stuff?
no.
Well, I know,
You mean
but I'm just-
changing
it's
it?
in there, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is
Okay.
only gonna be for the skill machines,
Okay.
and Joel will make sure it's worded that it only indicates that.
A bubble gum machine, now think about this logically. They're selling bubble gum for a penny. There'd have to be somebody standing there dumping bubble gum machine constantly to pay that type of a fine.
I just wanna know where that penny
Well,
machine,
I-
what's called the machine's at.
I'm just stating what's in the ordinance.
Yeah.
It says any coin operated machine, so that can be that bubble gum machine, it can be the bouncy ball machine, go by what's in there.
Yeah.
We didn't discuss that, we didn't discuss it before, if you remember.
Right,
And that'll be part of the.
right, that's what I'm just
We're gonna,
clarifying.
we'll address it.
Right.
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time? I adjourn this meeting.
Okay, can I make a